It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing another sort of discussion video that's suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community. So shout out to Zushi for this suggestion. It's an forum post, believe it or not, titled Diminishing Returns Response. So I wanted to actually talk about it a little bit more in depth, considering that there are probably people that may disagree with the changes being added. I want to really see what's the consensus on the cesspool that is the DBD forums. So it actually shows the screenshot here. Diminishing returns, what is it? For each instance of a given modifier, their values will be reduced. Modifiers will be ordered from largest to smallest. The reduction will increase as the base modifier decreases. So large modifier is 100%, but then when you add second, third, fourth, fifth, it just doesn't stack, basically. So they'll say that botany will basically use 50%, but desperate measures, 2 hooks is 40%, so then it gets reduced to 20. So instead of it going up from like 50 and 40 to like 90%, it would actually be reduced down to 60 or 70%. So dynamically, basically. So obviously, this is one of those things where unfortunately I had to do a lot of math. I really hate having to do math in DBD because it's really dumb a lot of the time, because people just don't understand the terminology, and then they try to like tell you, oh yeah, pop is good, and it's like you know, before the buff, pop is amazing, and it's like, no, it's only 20% of the value of the gen, but it's amazing. It's like, okay, but it's 20% of like 30 charges, like 20% of like 10 charges, 20% of 50 charges, like, so it's not even like 20% of just the gen, it's 20, which now, by the way, it's 15% of the entire gen, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But just had to point that out because it's annoying and dumb, because there's a whole bunch of stupid math everywhere. Anyway, so let's read the post. So this says, for those of you who don't know, Behavior is planning on adding a new update to deal with the quote problematic stacking values. The sad part is the current way that it's implemented doesn't even properly address the problem. In cases where the second perk only adds a tiny amount, even that tiny amount will get nerfed massively, even if it's nowhere near problematic range. So I kind of disagree, because like I just stated a second ago, like people are probably not reading how this works correctly. What I'm understanding, because math, and I hate it, is the fact that if you're going to be using botany and desperate measures at the same time, right, you're gonna have your 50 because that's the highest, right? But then if the 2 hooks per whatever from desperate or whatever nonsense is 40, they're gonna reduce that value down to 20, because it's like, okay, we're only gonna take 50% of that value, right? And so I keep telling you guys, you know, math is annoying, but this is what I'm trying to get at. So it's saying that 40%, take away 50%, 20%, right? So then instead of it being like 90 or whatever, it'll be 70. So they're trying to like bring it down so it's not like crazy high. You know what I mean? It's not that hard to understand. And then they bring up their own post, apparently, that they say, what's even sadder is that I already provided Behavior with the feedback on how to permanently deal with all problematic values in the game perfectly in an older post, in which I showed what could even make leader work again with vaulting speed like it used to through the new problematic value managing system. So let's actually take a look, quick little... Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, hell nah. They got graphs. Oh, hell nah. Can you give me like a TLDR, little bro? Like I can't, bro. We don't got all day to be reading this. Like, come on, man. Bro, can we get like a can we get like a summary? Yeah. I mean, they're not giving a summary in this post. It's just a lot of yapping. Yeah, I'm not about to read all that. Nah, bro. We already have enough to read right now. I'm not gonna read a whole new post. Like, we're not gonna worry about that. So, my thoughts, it's not gonna be that bad. I think this is a positive change, because the problem that we're having, right, when it comes down to stacking healing speed, right? Think about this, for example, right? One of the biggest culprits of healing speed bullshit will make it stacked with any healing bonus. They unhook 100% healing speed. Then you stack on body 150%. This says, okay, We're not going to have that. Instead of you having the 150%, we're going to have it be 125, right? And say you're using it with something else, that then the third will also just be like less than that. So then instead of it being like 200 healing speed, it'd be like 125 healing speed, because say, you know, botany is to 125 and then whatever, you know what I'm saying? Basically, if we'll make it's in the build, that's the highest healing speed you're going to get. That's as high as it'll go. The next value could be 50 from botany. You'll get 125 instead of 150. And then say you get another perk that has like 30 or something, it'll be reduced down to 15. So it'll be like 140, 50 or whatever. But that'll be like way less than like the 200 you could possibly reach or whatever. It's a little bit annoying because I would have to write it down so I could kind of like visualize it a lot better, but that's the idea basically from what I understand. I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but that's pretty much what I'm understanding. So anyway, this person says, honestly, I think this is going to get worse before it gets better, and that's okay. I'd rather individual perks have more of an impact, and I'm ready to go through the journey with the devs and watch the game grow. That's kind of where I'm standing at. Like, the game has already just kind of been in a dumpster fire for as long as it has been, so literally any positive change that we could possibly get here already provides better value than what we had before. So what does that mean, right? We're basically saying, right, in the sense that we already have a problem with healing speed, repair speed, stuff like that. If we can at least take that off. So let's even look at something like, if say they are affecting repair speed. I hope they are. I mean, I'm gonna have to look at it again. I'm hoping that they affect repair speed, but like, let's say they had like proof thyself or something. You could just basically bring that down so that like deja vu does only 13% instead of it doing 16%, right? Because like if you're taking 50% of that would be like 3.5 or something dumb, and proof thyself would be like the 10, right? So that would be pretty much as high as it goes, I would hope, right? And so that directly is a nerf to the repair speed, which is pretty good. You know what I mean? And then if they try to stack other stuff, it won't work. Hopefully. That's all in theory. And it's all in theory. Okay. I forgot to move this to actually make the forum part a little bit bigger to see here. But okay. But now we did it. So let's continue. It says the funniest thing in my opinion is that the main thing in this game that gets stacked is healing perks, but healing perks already have a diminishing return built into it when it comes to time saves. So 50% healing speed is 16 charges. So 5 seconds, 50% more. It's 2 seconds. 50% more on top of that apparently is 1.6. Going time healing speed, it would actually become stronger from stacking if it manages to outpace the speed at which a killer can reload their M1 attack, literally at any other value. Having stacking healing speed is a self-solving problem. To an extent, yes, if we're assuming that it works like this. But we have to understand that the healing speed is based off charges. It's not really from my understanding, it's not like a timer, and we're not directly affecting timers with that. You feel me? Like, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically that's why I hate talking about DBD math nonsense, because it's like, if we're talking about charges, that means that we're trying to fill charges with basically a modifier to increase the speed of the charges being filled, right? So if that's the case, then that means the values probably are better because you're getting stacks faster into that meter than it would be like, oh, we're just subtracting time off of a timer, if that makes sense. And that's why the balancing is so dumb. And then this person, of course, wants to fly in and say, well, you know, I overpowered full meta build of body and empathic connection was severely overpowered. Like, it was so problematic, my guy. Like, I don't know why. And then, of course, another survivor main rolls in saying pain res grim DMS completely unaffected. It's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger. They always like to bitch and complain about something that has nothing to do with anything. It's ridiculous. my main concern, but I suppose the gen regression limit isn't in place. Like, what I'm saying, bro. Like, yo, you can't go into the DVD forums without seeing some stupidity, and this is one of those examples. Like, what the hell are we talking about? Mainly always been the high mobility ones that they are horrific to face on. Yeah, duh. Like, duh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is obvious nonsense, big dog. The only reason, and oh boy, I have to explain this probably. The reason that slowdown is so good on high mobility is the fact that they can get downs fast, right? Or they can catch up fast. So the slowdown actually makes an impact because you can't instantaneously repair all of it in a single second like you normally can against a Ghostface, Skull Merchant, Trapper, Pig, blah, 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 blah. That's why pain res is pretty horrible on Trapper, on Ghostface, on Pig, on Skull Merchant, on whatever the hell character, Pig, whatever. You know, pain res is garbage on most of the M1s. That's just because, right? They are not able to be mobile enough to not only down them quick enough to get fresh hook stacks, and also this is why Grim embraces his ass, but also because they're not fast. 20% is half of that's repaired in your travel time. Eruption, same thing. Because the maps are giant. So like we're gonna be on foot, moseying on over. Like you're not gonna be flying over there in half a second. Like you can with Blight, for example, pre-nerf. For example, right? That's what made them so impactful, right? But it's like, oh, but I see that, so it's a problem. It's like, come on, bro. Plus, Grim is a nothing burger too. It's a garbage perk for most killers, besides the S tiers. Go limiter for perk design purposes. I agree with that. Zero doubt that the perk's safer in design that they could be because they know that it'd be perfectly fine if it on its own gets stacked with two other sources the same. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this person I've usually seen has a lot of very survivor-sided takes along with this person. So yeah, so usually when I see them saying I don't like this, that usually means chances are they're probably maining survivor. They probably have a take that's going to be very biased. So we're about to find out. Let's actually give it a read. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, but we know the truth anyway. So let's go ahead and give it a read. So they say I can't say I'm a fan of this diminishing return system for several reasons. Here we go. It won't diminish the meta builds at all. Nobody said it was. What the fuck does this have to do with the point? I don't like it. It doesn't affect the meta. It's like, it never said it was. Like, the fuck? Bro, like, what does this have to do with shit? Like, oh, nah. Leave it to the, like, brother. There's, like, brother. You'll still be seeing a lot of the same bullshit. Okay, whatever. So since they stacked perks, will be nerf. Okay. Similar applies to one, which then spread out the buffs. Instead of one person running a full generous or full heal, you'll see a person running one gen perk heal perk. Instead of one person stacking one category to fulfill a particular role. So no, this is where I disagree because people don't do that. Players already are not going, oh, I'm going to be the medic of the team. They don't have to do that. They usually don't do that. If you do that, that's fine. You know, I'm glad that you do that. That's awesome. Nice. You're actually not, you know, contributing to the meta bullshit. But for people that majority that I've seen, at least in my matches from my anecdotal experience, or what I see people play the game, 9 times out of 10, they're running a one exhaustion, probably vigil, and then they'll have like a repair speed bonus, and then you'll have like windows or something. Their builds are usually pretty like, you know, sort of Swiss Army knife. Like that's how people play because that survivor ultimately is a Swiss Army knife individually. Like they can do so many things on their own. So it's like, come on now. So it doesn't matter if, oh, we're going to see this again. It's like, no, that's already what they do. People are not usually running full gen rushes. That's just not usually what happens. And we've even seen before that even without full gen rush builds, we still see the fastest gens in the West. So like, what difference does that make? It's not going to change anything in that sense. Like they're still going to just run the same multi, you know, layered, well, I can't say layered, but multi-role build. Like that's just what they do. So that's not necessarily accurate. So they say, so you'll see the 3 survivors on 3 different gens with 1 progression perk, then one on a gen with 3 progression perks as an example, which is fine. I mean, they split up on gens regardless. I mean, but this is speaking from high MMR experience. So like, you know, which is such a buzzword, but like there really is a difference. And the thing is that my experience when playing the game is just like, it almost seems vastly different, because when I hear takes or different things, it's like I don't even see or experience any of the stuff that they're talking about, because it doesn't make sense to me personally. But anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. So let's continue. So they say, on the other hand, if it does apply to the whole survivor team as one person has suggested, it'll be a further nerf to solo queue, as they can't communicate with perks they're bringing, which is kind of inaccurate, because keep in mind that if they're adding in the feature where you see your teammates builds, which duh, like then you can see what they're running and you can kind of play around that. So that's somewhat inaccurate. They say, nor can they control what their teammates bring, which of course, like, meanwhile, Swifts will be able to coordinate their builds so as to avoid the diminishment on the return. Okay. So congratulations, Swift is still strong. Like, okay. And they truly are going that route, they might as well do away with perks entirely and do the classes similar to 2v8. But what is that necessarily? The thing that I have a problem with is that the first part didn't really have anything to do with the point. And then directly also didn't have anything to do with anything, because it's just inaccurate. Like, people already are running multi-perk builds that have different things. They have one for aura, one for this, one for that. Like, that's how it works. Like, unless like we're talking about like maybe at the lower to average, then maybe that's different. Maybe I can't speak on that, because obviously I'm not on Survivor playing it all day long to be like, oh yeah, I see the builds now. But like, at least when like from what I'm going up against, the perks I'm seeing are usually multiple different things. They have auras for their windows, auras for their pallets, auras for this person, or a repair speed, a heal, a this, that, and the third. Like, it's always something, usually a meta perk, blah blah blah. Like, it's just not a full same build thing. Anyway, so they say, as for the wait and see before giving feedback, we all know one believes in wait and see. Just look at the anti-tunneling. There it is. I was waiting to this shit. Oh my god. I was waiting for them to layer in some stupidness, and this is where it was. Because they go, just look at the anti-tunneling and anti-slug system that was scrapped before the vast majority of us even got to see it. What are you talking about? Brother, there are how many creators on YouTube alone showing the PTP gameplay, showing how it can be exploited, with massive followings as well. Multiple people have shown these changes before and talked about it extensively multiple times, because remember, these changes tried to release it like 3 times. Each time people talked about it. Oh, we didn't see it. Watch the goddamn video then. You can't say, oh, because I didn't see it, therefore it doesn't exist. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what are we talking about? Anyway, god damn. Yo, I'm too passionate about this, man. God damn, because they just say a lot of dumb things. I'm like, I can't, man. Anyway. They say, I don't like this. The whole reason they gave for canceling anti-tunnel, etc., was that it dictated people's act. The fuck? I tried to tell y'all, like, I had a comment the other time. They were trying to say, oh, I don't like how you're saying that they're Survivor mains. And I'm like, because I've seen these names. I've seen these names before. Like, I know what they're doing, dude. I've seen these people before. I've seen their takes 10 times over. I already know what they're going to say next. Like, they always have these takes. They're always dedicated on buffing Survivor, nerfing Killer, in every which way possible, to the point that the game completely will lose all its integrity. Like, at this point. Come on now. It doesn't remove your ability to stack, but it drastically reduces the value of doing so. What? He said just like the... No! That's not the same thing, bro. That's not the same thing. It's not. It is not the same thing. Enough so that people will mostly stop having dedicated builds. What are you talking about? How often do we ever see dedicated builds? I swear, like, I've only seen it. I mean, maybe like when we had like the world record or something like that for like the Gen Rush speed, which can be done solo, by the way. You don't even need a team to do that. Like, what are we talking about? I currently see a lot of different dedicated builds on Survivors. Killers not so much, as basically one flavor. What? The whole dedicated builds thing is only applicable to people running meme builds or on killer, because you can't really run variety on killers unless you want to lose. And then for survivor, you have the flexibility to do so because you can even play perkless and succeed. So like, I don't know why. Like, that's not the same freaking thing. Like, that's not the same thing. That's just not the same thing. That'll reduce drastically. That'll reduce drastically. It wasn't even there, so what is there to reduce? Like, there's only like, it's barely a handful that you can see on average. People are going to figure out the handful of meta perks that work well together, and we're even going to have a more limited meta. Bro, this is what I'm talking about. Like, are we living under like a giant boulder? Like, it ain't just a rock anymore. Like, are we living under a planet-sized boulder? Like, my guy, they already did that. They already did that. Like, what are you talking about? We'll make it, we'll still be strong as shit. Like, it's not like, oh man, you know, oh my goodness, like, they're gonna figure out the meta now. It's like, yeah, like, they already freaking did. Like, what? What are you talking about? Good lord. Let's take a look. So it says, I don't understand what builds are targeting with this. Haze Clown already got toned down. Healing perks have built-in diminishing returns already, which we don't know for sure at all. I would honestly disagree, to be honest. You know, I don't think that it does have diminishing returns, because it almost seems as if the healing speed is disgustingly fast no matter how you place it, but regardless. Definitely not the meta builds, and they want to make it even worse. But mind you, they never state, at least from my understanding, they never stated that this was directly affecting meta, because the meta perks are things that have stuns, passive upgrades, no prerequisites, nothing. Like, DS that hard, blah, blah, blah. All these things activate because you're losing. So like, they never said, hey, we're gonna change these effects to work differently. They never said any of that. They literally just said, we're gonna try to address the stacking statuses. What does that have to do with meta though? Like, that's a completely different discussion. Like, what are we talking about? Gen repair bonuses could maybe have an argument, but does that mean just using a toolbox deja vu will cause a repair speed nerf? I would hope so. I would hope so, because I would hope it does, actually, because if Commodious is repairing at 50% and you want to start stacking 60, like 6% on top of that, it's like, why? Well, you don't need deja vu for that. Like, you just use your toolbox. Like, why are we doing that? Makes no damn sense. Haze survivor stacking is a meme that takes a ton of effort to pull off and is fun for 20 seconds until the killer gets BL2 and catches. Bro, this is what I'm talking about, dude. Like, am I like living in Bizarro? Like what are we talking about right now? Because like, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, in what universe does running faster than the killer to the point that they get Bloodlust 2, by the way, which takes, I think, almost 2 minutes. In what universe does that mean that the gens aren't done? In what universe? Number one. Two, if you're going, yo, there's a lot of questions I have here. Number one, if you're going against a character that can't keep up with you, right? So that means not Blight. That means that they don't have a dash. That means that they don't have any kind of movement speed. That means that you're faster than them and they can't catch up to you. Meaning they have to use Bloodlust. And then get to Bloodlust 2 to hit you, right? It's fun, and then they hit me, and it's like, yeah. So in what universe are you, like, yo, it's mind-numbing, because it's like, dog, like, if the bro is catching up to you with Bloodlust 2, the gen should be getting done. Like, if bro is chasing you for Bloodlust 2, the gen should be done. Like, what are we doing? Then you lose because half your team was doing nothing, and I'm like, but in what scenario are you using this? You can be blamed by your teammates. Man, get that shit out of here, bro. Get that shit out of here. Like, this person right here, thankfully someone has some goddamn sense. They say, hey, the way they've said it, it looks like there'll be more active effects for a single build. Your have will make it and your teammates has botany, both of you will have your speed bonus preserved. Now there's boon circle of healing active, both perks will be halved, considering the boon is stronger. Exactly, that's what I was trying to say. Doing this for the survivor team is madness. It's only harms solo queue duos and trios, even the 4-man with the other. Okay, I guess so. I guess so. Gladly, and this person says, I'm glad about this change. If done right, both healing and gen speed builds would be nerfed, and we could justify buffs to weaker perks to bring them up and let them shine on their own. I agree with that. I agree with that, because there's tons of stacking stuff, and I'm like, why do we have so much stacking for repair speed, healing speed, haste, and I'm like for survivor, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, because think about it this way too. You want to know why endgame haste is so disgusting? You want to know why? I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna let you know. Put you on. You could stack Lithe or Sprint Burst with the haste that you're getting from the unhook, and that shit will literally zoom them across the entire map into the exit gate, pretty much. Not inside the exit gate, but almost to the front of it. You're like, that's a lot of fucking distance. And this is directly going to address that, I hope, too, because you're like, the haste goes up to 60%. So I'm like, yo, like, that's not really needed. Like, we don't need that. Honestly, we don't need that. So no, no, we don't need that. So I'm just saying. This person says I'm torn in this one firmly in the wait and see camp because I can completely understand the worries about stifling creativity, but also understand why there needs to be a level of control over stacking certain buffs on both sides. But yeah, I mean, gonna miss to see how they run in machine. What the heck is see how they run? Yo, what perk is that again? I already forgot, bro. And then of course another one's like, of course, back to crying about the perks. I'm like, whatever. Another person crying about it. Yeah, like, see right there. This is what I'm saying. I don't read some of this stuff because look at what it says right there. Remove killer Adadons. They break everything and the killers are unbalanced. It's like you already don't have an argument, big dog. Like, you need to sit down. So I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section, man. Let me know. What do you think about the topic at hand? Do you think that these changes are positive or negative? I want to know. Consider hitting the like and the sub. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Consider becoming a member on Patreon or YouTube, by the way, and also subbing on Twitch to support. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, let's go ahead and read off these wonderful members. We got Patreon, Crow Vader. All my YouTube members, Brando, Evil Blade, Cap Courteous, WTF You're Not J-Lo, Evil Peach, Cargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Jack, Christian, and Crow Vader. Really appreciate you guys supporting, man. And if you also subbed on Twitch, just know that you got love coming your way too. Appreciate you guys, man.